At age 65, Margaret thought her growing tiredness was just a normal part of getting older. She needed more naps, her eyes blurred by late afternoon, and she had started waking up 2 or 3 times a night to use the bathroom. That's just aging, she told herself. But what Margaret didn't know, and what many older adults don't realize, is that these small, everyday annoyances can actually be early signs of type 2 diabetes. Unlike in younger people, diabetes in older adults doesn't always announce itself with loud symptoms like sudden weight loss or extreme thirst. Instead, it can whisper, a little more fatigue here, a little tingling in the feet there, a few more bathroom trips. And because these changes happen gradually, they're often brushed off as just life after 60. But here's the truth. Type 2 diabetes is a growing concern among older adults in the U.S. In fact, nearly 1 in 4 people over 65 are living with it, and many don't even know they have it. Why? Because the early signs are easy to miss. They hide in plain sight, disguised as harmless aging or minor inconveniences. That's why awareness is so important. By learning to spot these subtle shifts, you can take charge early, prevent complications, and live well for many more years to come. This article will walk you through 6 signs of diabetes that older adults commonly overlook, signs that your doctor may not always mention unless you bring them up first. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you can do if you notice them in yourself or someone you care about. Because aging doesn't mean surrendering to illness. It means growing wiser, more attuned, and more empowered to live on your own terms. Let's take a closer look at the signs you should never ignore. Type 2 diabetes doesn't always follow the same rules after age 60. In fact, it often behaves quite differently and more quietly than it does in younger adults. That's one of the reasons it's so commonly missed or misinterpreted. As we age, our bodies naturally slow down. Energy levels dip, muscle mass declines, and our organs, including the pancreas, which regulates insulin, may not work as efficiently as they once did. These normal changes can mask the early signs of diabetes, making them harder to recognize. For example, it's common for older adults to feel more tired, sleep more during the day, or experience aches and pains. But when fatigue becomes constant or overwhelming, it may not be just age. It could be a sign that glucose isn't being properly absorbed into the cells, leaving you drained. Another complication is that many older adults are already managing other health issues. High blood pressure, arthritis, memory loss, or heart disease can all interact with diabetes, blurring the lines between what's normal and what's not. Some medications, especially steroids, diuretics, or certain heart drugs, can even raise blood sugar levels without obvious symptoms. And then there's the matter of perception. Older adults tend to be more stoic. They're less likely to complain and more likely to push through discomfort. A dry mouth? Just drink more water. Tingling feet? Must be poor circulation. But these little things can be your body's early warning system. Doctors, too, sometimes focus on more urgent concerns, especially in patients over 60. A quick blood pressure check or cholesterol review may take precedence in a 15-minute appointment. Unless you bring up these quieter symptoms, fatigue, frequent urination, vision changes, they might not be explored in depth. That's why understanding how diabetes presents differently in older age is essential. It empowers you to advocate for your own health, ask the right questions, and seek care before complications arise. Remember, your body doesn't stop speaking to you after 60. It just speaks more softly. The key is learning how to listen. In the next section, we'll dive into 6 specific signs of diabetes that are easy to miss but too important to ignore. Sign number 1. Frequent urination, especially at night. One of the most overlooked symptoms of diabetes in older adults is frequent urination, particularly during the night. Waking up once to use the bathroom might be normal. But waking up 2, 3, even 4 times a night could be a sign that something deeper is going on. When your blood sugar levels are too high, your kidneys work overtime to flush the excess glucose from your bloodstream. This leads to increased urine production, even if you haven't been drinking more fluids than usual. For seniors, this change can be easy to dismiss. I'm just getting older, you might think. Of course, I wake up more at night. But if your sleep is regularly interrupted by the need to urinate, and if you notice a change from your usual pattern, it may be time to ask your doctor for a simple blood sugar test. It's also important to watch for increased thirst, which often goes hand in hand with this symptom. You may find yourself reaching for water constantly, even during the night, and still feeling dry-mouthed. This is another sign that your body is trying to balance high blood sugar levels. Left unchecked, frequent nighttime urination can affect more than just your sleep. It increases the risk of falls, disrupts your rest cycles, and can contribute to daytime fatigue, confusion, or mood swings. In short, don't write this symptom off as just aging. It may be your body's quiet way of asking for help. Sign number 2, unexplained fatigue that lingers. We all slow down a little as we age, that's natural. But if you feel tired all the time, even after a good night's sleep or a restful afternoon, that's not something to ignore. Persistent fatigue, especially when it seems out of proportion to your daily activities, can be an early warning sign of type 2 diabetes. High blood sugar affects how your body turns food into energy. When glucose builds up in your bloodstream instead of entering your cells, your body doesn't get the fuel it needs. The result? You feel constantly drained, even if you're eating well and not doing anything particularly strenuous. Older adults often mistake this feeling for just getting older, or think they're simply not as energetic as they used to be. But diabetes-related fatigue feels different. It's a deep, ongoing tiredness that doesn't seem to lift, even with rest. This kind of exhaustion can make everyday tasks feel overwhelming. You may start avoiding walks, skipping social events, or feeling mentally foggy. And because fatigue builds slowly, many people don't notice it until it begins to affect their quality of life. If you or someone you love feels just off, more tired than usual without a clear cause, it's time to check in with a doctor. A simple blood test could reveal whether blood sugar is the culprit. Remember, your body isn't being lazy. It's signaling a problem, and the earlier you listen, the better your outcome can be. Sign number 3, blurry vision that comes and goes. If you're over 60, chances are you already wear reading glasses or have experienced some age-related changes in your eyesight. But here's the difference. If your vision becomes blurry suddenly, and especially if it seems to come and go, it may not just be your eyes, it could be your blood sugar. When blood sugar levels are too high, it affects the fluid levels in the lenses of your eyes. This causes them to swell slightly and change shape, leading to temporary blurred vision. It's not the same as needing a new prescription. This blurriness can fluctuate, clearing up and returning without warning. Many older adults assume it's just part of getting older, or they blame dry eyes, fatigue, or lighting. But inconsistent vision changes, especially if they happen alongside fatigue or frequent urination, may point to something deeper. Left unchecked, high blood sugar can damage the small blood vessels in the eyes over time. This condition, called diabetic retinopathy, is one of the leading causes of vision loss in older adults. But here's the good news. Catching the signs early can make all the difference. If you notice that words on the page seem fuzzy, or your television screen looks less sharp and these symptoms come and go, don't wait. An eye exam and a blood sugar check can help rule out something serious before permanent damage is done. Sign number 4, tingling or numbness in your hands or feet. Have you ever felt a pins and needles sensation in your feet when you stand up in the morning? Or maybe your fingertips feel numb while holding a cup of coffee. These subtle signs might seem harmless at first, but they could be early symptoms of diabetic nerve damage. This condition, known as diabetic neuropathy, is caused by prolonged high blood sugar that damages the small nerves in your extremities. It often begins with mild tingling, numbness, or a burning feeling in the toes or fingers. Over time, it can become more painful, affect your balance, and increase your risk of falls. Many older adults dismiss these sensations as poor circulation or think it's due to arthritis or cold weather. But if the feeling returns regularly or worsens at night, it's time to take a closer look. Diabetic nerve damage doesn't always wait until you've been officially diagnosed. It can begin during prediabetes or in the early stages of type 2 diabetes. The danger is that this nerve damage can sneak up on you and become permanent if ignored. Loss of sensation in the feet makes it harder to notice cuts, blisters, or sores, which can lead to infections and in severe cases even amputation. If you notice unusual feelings in your hands or feet, don't brush them off. These are warning signs your body uses when words aren't enough. A simple test could give you answers and the power to act before it's too late. Sign number 5, unexpected weight loss or gain. As we age, our metabolism slows down, that's normal. But if you suddenly lose weight without trying, or start gaining weight in strange ways despite no changes to your diet, it could be more than just aging. These shifts might be tied to undiagnosed type 2 diabetes. Unexplained weight loss happens when your body can't use glucose properly. Without insulin doing its job, your muscles and fat break down for energy instead. This kind of weight loss can be subtle at first. Your clothes feel looser, your belt notches change, but over time, it can become alarming. On the flip side, some seniors experience sudden weight gain, especially in the belly area. This might be caused by insulin resistance, where the body produces insulin but doesn't use it effectively. It can lead to higher fat storage and increased inflammation. Older adults often write off these changes as part of getting older, or they blame it on diet, stress, or lack of activity. But when weight shifts happen without a clear explanation, especially if combined with fatigue, thirst, or tingling sensations, your body might be waving a red flag. If the number on the scale is changing and you don't know why, it's worth checking your blood sugar levels. Diabetes often works quietly, and these physical clues are its way of speaking up. Sign number 6. Frequent infections or slow healing wounds. As we get older, it's true that the immune system can weaken. But if you're noticing more infections than usual, or if small cuts, scrapes, or sores are taking much longer to heal, it may not be just aging. It could be your blood sugar. High blood sugar levels interfere with the body's natural healing process. They can slow down circulation, limit oxygen flow to damaged tissues, and reduce the body's ability to fight off bacteria. That means even minor wounds like a blister on your foot or a paper cut can become dangerous if ignored. Older adults with undiagnosed type 2 diabetes may find themselves dealing with repeated urinary tract infections, skin infections, or even gum problems. Women may experience more frequent yeast infections. Men might notice fungal issues or delayed recovery from minor skin irritations. These signs are easy to overlook. After all, it's common to think, it'll heal eventually, or it's just a small thing. But when the healing process slows or infections keep returning, your body may be telling you that something deeper is going on. If you've noticed that your wounds linger longer than they used to, or that infections are becoming a regular visitor, don't wait. A quick visit to your doctor and a blood sugar test could uncover what your body already suspects and give you the tools to take control before complications grow. If you've read through the previous sections and thought, wait, that sounds like me, you're not alone, and more importantly, you're not helpless. Noticing subtle changes in your health can feel unsettling, but it's actually the first and most powerful step toward protecting your future. So, what should you do next? 1. Start with a conversation with yourself. Take a quiet moment and ask yourself honestly, have you been feeling more tired lately? Are your eyes playing tricks on you more than they used to? Have you noticed any changes in your weight, your energy, or how your body heals? Write down your symptoms, even the small ones. Often, when they're all in one place, a pattern starts to emerge. 2. Schedule a doctor's appointment. Don't wait for things to get worse. Reach out to your primary care provider and request a blood sugar test. A simple A1C test can offer a big picture view of your glucose levels over time. It's quick, non-invasive, and can give you peace of mind or an early diagnosis that can change your life for the better. Be honest with your doctor. Bring your notes and speak up about your concerns. Remember, you're not overreacting, you're advocating for your health. 3. Review your medications and habits. Ask your doctor or pharmacist whether any of your current medications could be affecting your blood sugar. Also, take stock of your lifestyle. Are you eating balanced meals? Getting gentle exercise? Sleeping well? These daily habits have more power than you might think, especially after 60. C. Don't panic, prepare. Even if your doctor confirms a diabetes diagnosis, don't see it as the end of the road. Many seniors live vibrant, fulfilling lives while managing type 2 diabetes. With the right support, you can too. The key is not to ignore the signs. Respond to them with calm, courage, and care, and you'll already be ahead. As we grow older, our bodies don't always shout, they whisper. A little more fatigue, a bit of blurry vision, a wound that takes its time to heal. These aren't always dramatic signs. They're quiet nudges, gentle taps on the shoulder, your body's way of asking for attention, care, and curiosity. Too often we're taught to dismiss these whispers as just aging. But what if, instead of brushing them off, we paused and listened? Type 2 diabetes doesn't arrive overnight. It tiptoes in slowly, weaving itself into everyday life until one day it can no longer be ignored. But the good news is, the earlier you listen, the more power you have. Power to prevent, power to reverse, power to live well. If something feels off, trust yourself. If a pattern forms, pay attention. If your intuition whispers, maybe I should ask my doctor, honor that voice. That's wisdom, and you've earned every ounce of it. Your health is not just about numbers and charts. It's about how you feel when you wake up, how steady your steps are, how clearly you see the world around you, how deeply you enjoy each moment. So don't wait for the shout. Tune into the whisper. And remember, caring for yourself isn't selfish. It's sacred. You still have many stories to live, and they deserve a strong, healthy you. Because aging isn't the end of your story, it's a new chapter. And your best pages may still be ahead.